Hello students, welcome back to geography class. Today we will do a quick recap of the first chapter, India, size and location. The Indian subcontinent includes 5 countries. These countries are Nepal, Pakistan, India, Bhutan and Bangladesh. Out of this, India occupies the bulk of the landmass and it shares its boundaries with all the 4 countries. So basically, these countries are the neighbors of India. Two of them, that is Nepal and Bhutan, they are landlocked. That means these are surrounded by lands on all the sides. While India has boundary contact with all the countries of the Indian subcontinent, we do not have oceanic or land boundary contact between themselves. These countries amongst themselves, they do not have any oceanic or land boundary contact with each other. So all the countries are sheltered by the world's highest mountains, the Himalayas. And we know proudly that Himalayas are in India. Now, the geographical location of India on the globe can be described in 2 ways. Number one, that it is located in the northern hemisphere, and also that the Tropic of Cancer divides the country into two almost equal parts. Number two, another geographical location of India can be the longitudinal and latitudinal extent. The latitudinal extent is 8 degrees 4 inches north and 37 degrees 6 inches 6 minutes north. Sorry, 8 degrees 4 minutes north and 37 degrees 6 minutes north. Now over here I have put a point, but it's not a point, okay, it is degrees. All right. So make sure if you're doing any notings or something, because these things are anyways given in your textbook, you can underline them. This is important information and this has to be learned by heart. You should know the latitudinal and the longitudinal extent of the country. The longitudinal extent of the country is 68 degrees 7 minutes east and 97 degrees 25 minutes east. Now, the Tropic of Cancer, that is 23 degrees 30 minutes north, divides the country into two almost equal parts. We know this now? All right, so this is all the things you should know for the location of India. Moving on, the size. Now, India is the 7th largest country in the world, and population-wise, India is the 2nd largest country in the world after China. We have a land boundary of 15,200 kilometers and a main coastline that also includes the Andaman Nicobar and the Lakshadweep Islands is of 7,516.6 kilometers. Again, these numbers are very important and they should be learned. The land mass of India is 3.28 million square kilometers, and we occupy 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. Now, to the north, we are bounded by the Yangfold Mountains, and to the south, our country divides the Indian Ocean into two seas, that is the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. So from around 22 degrees north, our country starts tapering southwards and it extends right into the Indian Ocean, and it divides the Indian Ocean into two seas, that is Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. Now about the time difference between the two longitudes. time difference between any two longitudes is 4 minutes. This is a very important fact which you may will be asked to use to make some calculations also. So if you have been told that the longitudinal difference between Arunachal Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh is 30 degrees, what is the time difference between the two? You should be able to calculate it. It is 30 into 4 minutes, which is 120 minutes, which is equal to 2 hours. That means technically there's a 2-hour time lag between Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh. But India follows the Indian Standard Time, that is the standard meridian of India, which passes around through 82 degrees 30 minutes east, and it passes through Mirzapur in UP. The latitudinal extent influences the duration of day and night as we move from south to north. So the longitudinal difference marks the difference in time at a particular place, whereas the latitudinal extent influences the duration of day and night. Okay. So questions can be asked over here. Give reasons can also be asked, that why is there a time lag between two states? Okay, and they can also ask you to justify the 4 minutes. How can you justify that the difference between two longitudes is 4 minutes? So for that, it is basically that the rotation of Earth is taken at once, takes one turn in 24 hours. So, and there are 360 longitudes. So the difference between any two consecutive longitude lines will be 24 into 60 upon 360, because 1 hour equals to 16 minutes, right? So finally, when you do the calculation, you will add up to the formula of finding the difference between two consecutive lines of longitudes, and you will find out that the difference between two longitudes is 4 minutes only. Now, India and the world. India is well connected by ocean routes to outside the world. Indian Standard Time is 5.5 hours ahead of the Great Meridian Time, GMT. So the Indian landmass actually has a central location between the East and West Asia. In Asia, we are like almost in the center, but of course we are at the bottom, but we are in the center. So India, we are connected to the countries of the West and Europe through trans-Indian Ocean routes. And we are connected with the West Asia, Africa, Europe, Western coast, and with the Southeast and East Asia. From the Eastern coast, we are easily connected to them through the Deccan Peninsula, which projects into the Indian Ocean. India actually has the longest coastline in the Indian Ocean, and that's why Indian Ocean also received its name because of this particular distinguished position of India. Okay, so geologically, India is a part of the Gondwana land, which represented the southern part of the supercontinent called Pangaea. This is an important fact you should know. Now, land routes in the northwest linked India to the Silk Route during the ancient times. And also, since the opening of the Suez Canal, the distance between India and Europe has been reduced by 7,000 kilometers. Now, India was well connected even in the olden ages and civilizations through land routes and sea routes. Okay, and we can find great evidence in the interactions that the foreigners made with us. Okay, and we also know that Vasco da Gama discovered the sea routes to India in the 15th century, and after that it had become very easy for the travelers of the European countries to come to India. That's how we have been establishing link with all other parts of the world. Okay, so initially when this sea route was found, it was only for a trade route, only for exchange of commodities. But slowly, it also became a way to exchange ideas, Panchtantra, our Indian numerical system, Upanishads, Ramayana. Now, It has reached all parts of the world. Okay, our spices, muslin, everything has been, taken from India. We've been able to bring it across to so many parts of the world. Now, India has major ports on her coastline. We have major ports on our coastline, and these are described as these are 12 major ports, which are also called gateways of international trade. Okay, now talking about our neighbors. Now, India has 28 states and 8 union territories. We have a long land boundary and we share our borders with Pakistan, Afghanistan in the west, Tibet, Nepal and Bhutan in the north, Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east, and we have southern neighbors, which are islands. Okay, so India's southern neighbors are Sri Lanka and Maldives, and we share, these are across the sea, and these are 2 island countries. So there are 2 narrow channels which are formed by the sea, and it separates India and Sri Lanka, which is known as Park Strait. And there is Gulf of Mannar that separates India from the Maldives Islands. All right. So India is one of the ancient civilizations of the world and has moved forward, displaying remarkable progress in the field of agriculture, industry, and technology. India lies entirely in the northern hemisphere. The mainland it extends from 8 degrees 4 minutes north and 37 degrees 6 minutes north. And the latitudes, and the longitudinal extent is 68 degrees 7 minutes east and 97 degrees 25 minutes east. Tropic of Cancer divides India into 2 equal parts. India is located in the south central part of the continent of Asia, bordering the Indian Ocean and its 2 arms extending in the forms of Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. The maritime location of the peninsular India has provided links to its neighboring regions through air and sea routes, and these routes have contributed largely in the exchange of ideas and commodities. India has 28 states and 8 union territories. Sri Lanka and Maldives are the 2 island countries located in the Indian Ocean, which are India's neighbors. Sri Lanka is separated from India by the Gulf of Mannar and Park Strait. Other neighboring countries of India are Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. So Park Strait separates India and Sri Lanka. Gulf of Mannar separates India from Maldives. Okay, so you should know, the capitals of all the states. I had, when we had done the first time we've done this chapter, I have told you all about all the capitals of the states. You should know your map work from this chapter. That is the political map of India, and you should know where are the states located. Okay, you should know the name of 28 states. So with this, I want to just share a mind map with you about this chapter, and after that, I will wrap it up. All right, so this is the mind map. Okay, so over here, everything is very well, very nicely summed up. Sri Lanka is separated by Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar. Maldives is separated only by Gulf of Mannar. India lies in the northern hemisphere. There are 2, the latitudinal extent, the longitudinal extent. Everything about the size of India, the area, the land boundary, length of the coastline, the standard meridian, and with the world, the location of India, the sea routes, and how the mountain ranges give a passage to the ancient travelers in the past, and the routes have contributed to the exchange of ideas and commodities. So I think this is a very beautiful mind map that you can always refer to as a quick revision, probably on the day of your exam, a night before your exam or something. You can easily See this, so you can either take this, take a screenshot of this, or you can even go one step further and make it. Okay, if you make it, I promise you, because this has worked with me on a personal experience. When I write something down like this, it stays in my memory longer. So if you are that kind of a learner, this is a fantastic mind map that you can make. Okay, with this, I will end today's class. Children, stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Hope to see you all soon. Thank you.